Hi. Okay, we're going to talk about, today we're going to talk about what the difference between bronzing and contouring are. And so first thing, I know that, well, even me, I know that a lot of people think that they're interchangeable, but they are not. There is a big difference between bronzing and contouring. Hi, Ashley. And the differences, we're going to be talking about the differences between the two and where you'll put the bronzer and why, and where you'll put the contour and why. So I have my notes behind me, so don't mind me if I keep looking up. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is talk about the contour. The contour is actually, it's supposed to accentuate the natural shadows on your face. So when you think of your face, you know that you have a natural shadow underneath your cheekbone. You have a natural shadow right where your head rolls back, and then also underneath your jaw, on the sides of your nose. Basically where there's any curves in your face, you should have natural shadows. But when we do our makeup and we put on, like right now I have just my highlight on, I don't have any contour, I have my eyes done and my eyebrows done, just so you guys didn't have to watch that. But we naturally, hi Ashley, we naturally have shadows in our face that are just there because of the curves of our face. But if you, the reason why we want to use contour is because when we use makeup, we just cover all of those shadows using a foundation, and then we want to add those shadows back in with contour. So when you're using a contour, it's different than a bronzer because it's more matte. You want to definitely use a matte contour. You want something that is cool toned and it's not super warm, whereas we know that bronzer is very warm and it's used to give us kind of like a sun-kissed glow, and it warms up our face, makes us look healthy and really good. But a contour is used more for structural changes in your face. So you're just trying to enhance the structure of your face, so your cheekbones pop, and your nose, you can contour your nose so it looks thinner. You can contour your neck so that it looks like you don't have a double chin, or that you do have a chin. And whereas the bronzer is more just, it's more just like to make you look like you have a sun-kissed glow and make you look more healthy and stuff. So let me see, I have my notes right here. So we also don't want, when you're using a contour, you don't want something that has a shimmer. And the reason why is because a shimmer kind of brings that forward in your face, whereas like a contour, you want to make it pull back on parts of your face so that the areas where you didn't put contour will pop. And so a shimmer is more for a bronzer. You can have shimmer in your bronzer, but you don't want to have shimmer in your contour. And a lot of people, I've seen this so much, people use bronzer as a contour. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I think that that is a mistake that a lot of people make, not knowing that they're super different and you can use them at the same time on your face. And I want to teach you how to use them. A lot of people just don't know where to put them, and so that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, also contour should look like a shadow. It shouldn't look like you got sun. It should look like a shadow, and it's also more cool toned than bronzer is. Okay, we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you how to do contour, where to put it, and I'm going to show you how it's different. So I have these two tins right here. This one is bronzer. So you can see that one is more warm, and then this one is my contour. And you can see how cool that is. So this one is our Bella bronzer. It's a cream bronzer. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and a lot of people are kind of intimidated by a cream bronzer, so I also want to show you guys how to use that. So this is our cool, it's called Olive. That's the one I'm using right now, our contour. And this one is actually one of the warmer contours, but you can see the difference in how much warmer this bronzer is than this contour. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take my contour and I'm gonna show you guys Where I'm going to put it. So when you're using contour, you want to use it to structurally enhance your face. So with me, I have a really round face, and so I want to pop my cheekbones out and make it look like I have more cheekbones than, because I have lots of chub. Hello, hey Katie. And so you want to put the contour underneath the cheekbones. You're going to put it along the hairline, and you're going to put it down the sides of your nose and then on under your jaw. And that is going to help bring forward all the areas that you want to bring forward, and then recede anything that you don't want to be seen. So I'm going to use my 30-second hack brush. This is the contour end. It's more of like a domed end. You could also use your detail hack brush. This one is really nice if you have a more thin face, because it's not going to make the line too thick. This one I love because I like a thicker line, because I do have a round face and I have more space that I could use up. So you're just going to dip it in there. I like to swirl it a lot of times. And then you want to go underneath your cheekbone. And wow, I got a lot. Woo! But as you can see, these are not areas where the sun is naturally hitting you. Whereas bronzer, you're going to put your bronzer in the areas where the sun naturally hits you. These are like the sun doesn't hit you underneath your cheekbone, okay? So that's why it's more of a structural thing. It's not, you don't want it to, you don't want to use bronzer as your contour, because it's not going to look the same or give the same effect. Then you're going to want to go along your hairline like that. And sometimes a tip I'll give you guys is that when you're using a contour and you're using contour and bronzer in the same, hi Carly, when you're using contour and bronzer at the same time on your face, sometimes your contour, so even though this is a lot cooler contour, there's even cooler contours that we have. So sometimes you want to go just a step even cooler than what you normally wear, because it can sometimes look really, really warm. That's what I like to do a lot of times, is I'll go, there's one called Ash that we have that I love to use when I'm using a bronzer, and I probably should have used it, but this is what I had in my compact right now because it's summer and I am a lot darker than I normally am. Okay, so you can see how the contour brings up my cheekbones. It makes me look like I have a lot of dimension in my face. And then I'm going to go underneath my jaw like this. Okay, gives me more of a like chiseled neck. And there we go. So that's a contour. Oh, I forgot my nose. So you can pinch the end of this and then just take a tiny bit down the sides of your nose. Really doesn't have to be too precise unless you really want to contour your nose really well, which I need to do another video on that. But you can see it just gives me a lot of dimension, and that is what contour does. It chisels out your face to give it the shape and dimension that you want. Whereas bronzer, we're gonna switch to bronzer and talk about that. So here's my bronzer. We got the Bella bronzer. I'm gonna use my B squared brush to put this on, and you want to use the fluffier end. And the reason why is because you want a really diffuse look with your bronzer. You don't want it to be, you're not wanting like with contour, you want it in a very specific place, but you want your bronzer to be more diffuse and go a little bit higher than your cheekbone. You want it more like on top of your cheekbone and in a bigger area. So when you're using your bronzer, here is the biggest tip. You want to make sure, I don't love using a bronzer that has shimmer in it. This one does not. I think it looks really pretty when it's not shimmery, because a lot of people can tell that that's not real. that that's a bronzer. When you don't have a shimmer, it looks really natural and super pretty and real. And so that's one of the biggest tips I like to tell people is don't use a contour or a bronzer with a shimmer. Also, the place where you put your bronzer is a lot different than where you put your contour. So I usually put my contour on first, and then I'll go and put my bronzer on. So what you want to do is put it in the areas where the sun is, think of the sun shining down on you. So where is it going to hit your face naturally? It's going to hit like your forehead area, the tops of your cheekbones, so the high points of your face that stick out, that grab the sun when it comes down. So your tops of your cheekbones, your forehead, down the bridge of your nose, and then a little bit on your chin. And also if you're wearing kind of like a deeper neckline, you can use your bronzer down here to kind of tie in the bronziness of your face to your neck because you don't want it to be separate. So I usually always do that. I'll just pull my neckline down just a little bit and then use it on my neck a tiny bit. And that helps pull everything together. Okay, I have a few other things I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, so there's two different ways you can apply it. I wanted to show you both ways. So you can apply it with your B-square brush. I like to use, like I said, this fluffier end, or you can use your Perfector sponge or any beauty sponge. This one's just amazing, and I always recommend this one. But the reason why you want to use that was because you want to get a more diffuse area. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cream blush, or your cream bronzer, sorry you guys, I can't think right now. You'll just want to tap it in. Just kind of get it all over, tap it on there, okay? And it's better to, when you're putting this cream bronzer on, you'll want to make sure that you're not putting it all on in one thick layer. You just want to put it on in light layers and build it up to the color that you want. That's the best way. That's the best way really with cream in general, with anything. So the highlight, the contour, anything, you don't really want to put a ton on at once. You just want to build it up in light layers. So then what you're going to do is, so you're going to put it on the tops of your cheekbone. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to start doing like a swirling motion. I'm not doing it where I put my contour. I'm doing it on top of my cheekbone. So my contour goes underneath my cheekbone. So you just go on top of your cheekbone, kind of down into your cheek area, like this, and just swirl it, and you'll just keep kind of dabbing it in. Can you see? It's starting to get really pretty and bronzy. So can you see the difference? And then we're gonna go, I'm gonna even tap even more. I might even swipe a tiny bit. Kind of depends on the temperature that this is, because if it's a little warmer, you're gonna get a lot more product. So just be careful. So then you're gonna want to go right here in on your forehead area, just very lightly do some swirling motions. You don't want to go too far down into this area that you highlighted, because it's going to, you still want like that brightness. You don't want to just cover up what you just highlighted. But you do want to get a little bit, the thing is that's nice about this is it's really sheer, and so it's not like it's going to really cover up a ton. It's really sheer, and it just lets your skin show through, which is nice. So there we go. You can go down the sides of your temple area, down the bridge of your nose. That's where a lot of people, I get so much sun right here. And then you'll want to go a little bit on your chin. So just tie it in. And then we're going to go down here and just do a little bit here just to tie everything in. You can also go down your neck if you want, but I would just pick maybe 3 spots that you do it. So like the center and then the side, so it doesn't look like your neck is just all brown, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, so that's one way to do it. I personally, that is my preferred method of doing it. Look, it just gives you like this really pretty summery glow, and then look at this side. You can tell that it's just my contour. It's very structural, and it's good either way. Like a lot of times I won't even do bronzer, but coming into winter, now that we're coming into winter, fall, winter, it's gonna be nice because we're all gonna lose our tans, and it'll be nice to have something to give us just that natural, pretty glow again. So what you'll wanna do, what I didn't do, you guys, and I should have done, was get this wet. So you'll wanna get it wet under the sink, and then you'll just squeeze it out until it's just damp, and then you'll squeeze it into a towel. So it's gonna be very, very lightly damp. And then, so this is gonna be, I'm gonna have to do a little more blending since it's not as puffed up as it normally is. So what you'll do is you'll just tap it, use this butted end or the bigger end of your perfector, and you'll just tap it in there. And then I like to start over here on the top of my cheekbone, like that. I need one of those Lexi loves here. What were you meaning to say? I'm like, I don't know. Is Lexi there? Hey, Lexi. Yeah, you do. You would love it, Ashley. So, and then you can go up on top of your forehead like this. And when you're using this right here, I would probably just stick with, because like with a brush, you can really just diffuse it, and it's not gonna be, you can blend it out. With this, wherever you place it first, that's gonna have the most pigment. So I like to start back here, back towards the back of my face right here, and then kind of blend it towards the center of my face so that it's not so just harsh right there on in the middle, because I still want some brightness here. And then same with your cheekbone. I like to start in the back and then just kind of blend forward like that. Okay? And then you can take it a little bit along your jawline if you want to tie that in as well. And then on your chin. So you can kind of see the difference. I feel like I got more when I did the brush because it's such a, it's like a very, it's a big area. It covers a larger area. And then with this side, I feel like it was more specific. So you can kind of decide what you want to do or just play with it, see what you like better. I personally, I don't know. I love this side, but I do feel like I kind of went a little crazy and got up into my eye area. So sometimes you can go back and you can just, if you get it up in that eye area, you can just go back with your highlight and just push it away. Get it out of that eye area, because nothing, hey Holly, hey Kylie, because nothing looks good in the eye area if you get makeup up in that eye area. You want to keep that area clear. So a lot of times I'll just go back, brighten up the eye area again, and get everything. Thanks Holly. Okay, so then I'm just going to touch up that area again. So now what do you do? Thank you, Kylie. So what do you do after that? Do you put on your blush? What do you do? How do you do that? So what I like to do is I like to do my bronzer. So I do my contour, my bronzer, and then I'll do my blush, because I feel like it kind of gets lost underneath your bronzer. And so I'll just go in with my blush afterwards, and I use the smaller end of the B squared. Yeah, it's, oh wow, it's really bright. I know, I love it. I'm going to use a warm blush because I think that when you use a bronzer, it's so pretty when you use like a warm, like a peach or like pinky colors. I think it just looks so pretty and it pairs really well with it. So I'm going to use this one. It's called Frenchie, and it's the most gorgeous peachy color. Look at that. It looks so pretty with it. I love it. And go on this side. And that way it doesn't get lost underneath all of that. For fair girls, so she said, what's your favorite blush for fair girls? I always tend to do, I don't know. I think they all look so pretty. I like to go dark with fair girls even. Just do like a really, really, like very, like a light layer with any really color, any of the colors. But one of my favorite colors though is Frenchie. I love Frenchie. I think it's so pretty on fair skin, and I also love Desert Sunset a lot. Yes, Ashley. She said, I use Desert Sunset. I hope that's the name. Yes, it's so pretty. Okay, so you can kind of see the difference now. I hope that answered you guys' questions. You guys have any more questions about the difference between contour versus or bronzer, and where to put them and why? If you're just joining now, then I explained all that in the beginning, but it does, they are different, and it does make a big difference. Oh, I forgot to throw on my illuminator. I'm gonna throw one on. I'm gonna use honey. It's right here. We have 5 illuminators now. Did you guys know that? So we have Pearl. It's really pretty on, I feel like that looks so pretty on fair girls. And then we have this one, Honey, is next. You can kind of see. And I just like slap it on, and I put a ton, you guys. A lot of people are just like, I see people dabbing into it like this, and then they're like, I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. I just like, I rub my finger in there like there's no tomorrow and get a ton. And then I just go and, because I want that shine. That's like my favorite part of this whole thing. Especially if you're super bronzed with this Bella bronzer. It's so pretty. It looks so gorgeous paired with it as well. So you can see, wow, yeah, that shine is nice. And then I'm gonna go on my nose. It looks so cute on the nose. Gives you kind of like a little button nose, and then a little bit right there on my Cupid's bow. And you can do like the center of your lips as well, like that. Okay, I hope that helped you guys, and let me know what videos you guys want to see, because I really love educating women about the differences of things, and just any questions you guys have about any makeup techniques, I will make a video of it. So just let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great Saturday.